Alright, part 2. So I showed you the first mess tin. Second mess tin is a French military mess tin. I'm not going to bother taking it apart and showing you because I've just got too much crap around and I can't be stuffed trying to reach over to pull it apart. So that's a military style one. It comes with two size pots, pans, and that piece on the top that is actually a bowl as well. So basically three containers in that part there. So that one's not a bad one. I picked that up pretty cheap at the Aussie disposals, so I was pretty happy with that. Alright, now on to some other miscellaneous stuff. Well, not really miscellaneous, but over here, this is my personal survival kit, and I call it my personal one because over here you can see the normal size ones that I make, and here is a mini one which I'm not going to bother showing you. I'll show them in a different video later, and another one here I'll show in another video later. But that there is my personal one. It's actually got a cylinder kit inside it, so it's a double kit. It's also got the wind-up torch, which I think is a fantastic idea to have a little wind-up torch in your personal survival kit. And I've also got the waterproof matches and cotton balls soaked in Vaseline, cordage. It's basically got everything I showed in the smaller kits, but it's got a few extra bits and pieces in it. So I'll show that. I'll show that in more detail in another video. Up here, fire utensils. I've got the Bear Grylls fire starter there. Over here I've just got an ordinary flint striker, ferrocerium rod, sorry. Lighters, a couple of lighters, and here is a magnifying glass on top of mosquito head netting, which I think is a must to have one of those, especially in Australia. Just about everywhere you go you got mosquitoes. Sometimes you get them all year round depending on where you are, just because of the fact that it's a lot drier, warmer climate than anywhere else. Compass, good quality one there, from Japan. A couple of little cheapo ones there. The little mini one in the middle is what I put in most of my little survival kits. The other one is a new one that I haven't had yet, so I haven't decided whether I'm going to add that to a different size kit or whether I'm going to use that one instead of the mini one, so I'll decide on that later. The bigger one was my, well, I bought a couple of those thinking that they were mini ones, so I'm not really sure what I'm going to do with them. I might just have them as a pocket kit. So moving back out, and over here we've got the little Eco Magic, I'm not really sure what you call them, expanding cloths. There you go, expanding cloths. And I decided that since I showed them before and not really had very good detail about them, I decided I'm going to show you how they work. That's an Australian company, by the way. There's many of them now, but they originated in Australia. So I'm going to show you what they actually do. I've got over here a bowl of water, little tablet, and drop it in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Take it out, and you've got a nice big, well, nice cloth. So holds water really well. Just to show you. Squeezed it out as much as I could. And barely any dripping, a little tiny bit, but barely any, but look how much water it holds. It's just ridiculous. These things are fantastic. They're well worth having in my kits, so I definitely carry them no matter where I go. And They're really good. I basically, if it's really hot, I'll whack one of those on my neck just to keep my neck cool, because I think they're a fantastic idea. So anyway, back to where I was. That was the Eco Magics, the expandable cloths, and I think they're a fantastic idea. If you don't have them in your kits, you may want to think about having a look at them. I'll leave the email address of those on my description after the video, so if you're looking for something like that, I'll leave the description and you can find it and find out for yourself. Okay, moving down, first aid kits. Now I've got over here, not a first aid kit, but a sewing kit. Well worth having one of those. I've also got a sail needle, or a canvas needle, whichever you call it, which I'll add to that kit. It's still in the packet because I've never used it, obviously. First aid kits, the deluxe kit, which has got just about everything you could think of. The only thing it doesn't have is antibiotics and tablets of those forms, because here in Australia you need a prescription for antibiotics, and frankly I thought that there's no real point in putting them in there just to display them. I'll add some antibiotics at some stage, but also another thing to add to first aid kits would be gastro stop tablets, which are diarrhea tablets, which I think is a must, especially if you're in an area where you haven't tried the water before. If you go to another country, you're guaranteed to end up with some sort of problem with the water, so it's well worth having diuretics, whatever you call them. But anyway, moving on, I've got my plastic poncho, and down there is a pad of paper, but underneath the pad of paper is a space blanket, really big mylar one. It's a lot bigger than the other ones I've displayed, so it's really worth having one that's a better quality than just the cheapo Chinese ones. I don't mean any disrespect, but frankly just about everything that comes out of China is very cheap and nasty. So I've also got some nails. Now I won't be putting all of them in one kit, but I think that having nails, well, they're very versatile, so you can use them for a lot of different things. They're well worth having. I won't worry about going into too much detail. Now, duct tape. Probably one of the most versatile things I have on this whole entire board of things to add to kits. Duct tape is probably the most versatile, probably the one thing that I'll definitely take no matter what. So I've got duct tape. Now, gloves, well worth using gloves, especially if you're in places that have a lot of biting insects. In Australia we have a lot of biting insects, so there's definitely well worth having gloves, just to protect your hands, especially if you're cutting wood, picking up wood from the ground. You don't want to get bitten by a redback, so well worth having gloves. Alright, up the top here we've got a folding shovel. Now obviously I'd only have the one, but I just wanted to show you what it looks like. It folds up, it's nice and compact, and that will actually go on your belt if you wanted to, or just in your bag. So I just thought I'd show you the folded up one and how it looks when it's put out. Now the shovel itself, it's not just a shovel, it has a pick on the other end of it, so you can use it for digging a trench around your camp and all that sort of stuff, and digging your latrine, and yeah, very, very useful to have a shovel when you're camping, especially something that's not going to be too heavy. Both of them weigh less than a kilo each, so I'm not sure what that is in pounds, because I'm an Australian and I was born in the 80s. We didn't learn about pounds, so that's just the way it is. Now over here we've got our big cutting tools. So here we've got a giant bloody knife. It's just ridiculous how big that bloody knife is. I don't even know if I'd even bother taking it out because I think it's a bit ridiculous. Anyway, I'll continue on in part 3. Hang on a second.